What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just found out some information about Call of Duty. That is just a no-go, and it's kind of hilarious because if you guys remember about a month or so ago when Season 4 went ahead and dropped, there was some insane news that exposed that you are not safe whatsoever playing Black Ops 6. But little did we know, coming into World War II here that just got released on Game Pass, this problem is transferring from game to game to game. Basically, from what I can tell, no Call of Duty experience is safe whatsoever, and the way that Activision is handling it is absolutely embarrassing. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget subscribing and hit that bell. I post your daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Ark Raiders, Splitgate 2. You best believe I cover all of these different games on this channel. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I can link that channel down in the description of this video. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, Call of Duty has been going through the trenches right now when it comes to their anti-cheat, and it's one of the main reasons why I haven't even bothered hopping onto the game. As you guys know, I cover Call of Duty on this channel a ton, but I haven't even hopped into the mid-season event to see what's going on because, as we all know, I'll probably just have these same exact complaints. And you guys know how it goes when it comes to all of these Call of Duty titles every single year. What you see is what you get. You know, these developers aren't even on Black Ops 6 anymore. More than likely, they're on Black Ops 7. So all of the feedback that we're giving them right now is irrelevant, right? If they take the feedback will be implemented into BO7. But when it comes to BO6, it is what it is. And Activision has promised many times before that the anti-cheat was going to be improved. Season 2 and 3 were going to be absolutely massive when it comes to the anti-cheat. So on and so forth. They've told us absolutely everything in the book. And sadly, it just never comes true. And then here we are. We're moving over to World War II. World War II just went ahead and dropped for a lot of players over on Game Pass. And that's fantastic, you know. I think World War II deserves a little bit more love at this current date. And it's sad that nobody really, enjoyed it back in its prime when it didn't have a limited sprint and all that stuff, That's what really worries me about the overall COD community. Everybody begs for, a classic feeling COD, but when they get a classic feeling COD, a lot of the time they're not really that satisfied with it. But I do think that, World War II, even with a limited sprint, is still pretty dang fun at times. But you can't even go ahead and hop into that experience without getting absolutely demolished. I mean, cheaters can literally hack right into your PC and take control of everything. It's embarrassing. But it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. I saw a post by Nero Cinema, and boy, oh boy, I mean, if Activision hasn't already proven that they don't give a crap about any of us, this will prove it right here. Microsoft support claims that hackers being able to use RCE exploits to take control of other people's PCs is not a violation of their terms. It's going to keep happening, and they won't do anything about it. This world is fluked. And for anybody that's actually curious, here's the image that Nero Cinema went ahead and posted up. This is true, ladies and gentlemen. By all means, if you don't believe me, research it yourself. This is facts. Microsoft is not going to do anything because they do not find any of these cheats, I guess, lethal, illegal, on top of being lethal. They don't care. It's not a big deal to them. And because of that, these problems are not going to go ahead and get resolved. Guys, these cheats are no joke. I'm not talking about aimbot. I'm not talking about wall hacks. I'm not talking about 24/7 UAVs. This is a whole different degree of cheats. And as I stated, it was enough to scare me away from Black Ops 6. I can't even consider hopping back into the experience because I know they're not going to resolve it. And then seeing this kind of further confirms my fears that they aren't planning on resolving any of these issues, and it's going to stay the exact same way. Now, of course, I know a ton of people do really enjoy Call of Duty. They enjoy the flow of Call of Duty, the gameplay aspect of Call of Duty, so on and so forth. But I highly recommend you guys just taking a little bit of a break. You don't got to leave the franchise. Again, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. If this is what you love, this is what you love. But seriously, this is heavily concerning that this has been going on for years now within Call of Duty. I personally even have videos dating back like 2-3 years ago where these exact problems were still happening within COD. And Activision is always hopping on top of it. They always try to make it seem like they're going to go ahead and improve things. But time and time and time again, as I stated before, they fail at improving their overall anti-cheat. Ricochet is garbage. It just is what it is. Ricochet is absolute garbage. And if you guys still remember, back in, I would say, the middle of Black Ops 6's life cycle, like maybe around Season 2-ish, maybe. Remember the article that came out where Activision finally went ahead and officially hired a manager for the Ricochet anti-cheat team? they're very far behind. Activision is talking the talk, but again, they have no proof of these improvements. And as we see with our own eyes, their claims of improving are not happening. What I expect out of this is I just don't think Black Ops 6 is going to receive anything. I don't think any of these games on Game Pass are going to receive anything. They're all dangerous. And your best bet is to probably lay low a little bit, at least until Black Ops 7 comes out. And even when it comes to Black Ops 7, I've been screwed so many times before that it's hard for me to want to go ahead and dive deep. If they pull off a Modern Warfare 3 scenario, then maybe it'll be worth it. But for anybody else out there, who cares about what my opinion is? If you genuinely enjoy COD, but you're worried about your safety, it sucks, but I seriously think you should probably take a break from the current game and wait until they actually go ahead and get a brand new title out. And the reason I say this is because they're not going to update the current anti-cheat within Black Ops 6. It's just too much work and it's probably too much of a hassle. Your best bet is for them to drop a brand new game. And fingers crossed, although I highly doubt it, but I just want to be optimistic for some people out there who, might be excited still. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when it comes to a brand new title, they will more than likely be able to do bigger upgrades to the anti-cheat and incorporate it in a better fashion. And if you really think about it, if they just went ahead and hired a, Ricochet anti-cheat manager in the middle of Black Ops 6's life cycle, we're not going to see any massive changes. If there was never even anybody there in the first place and the anti-cheat team has just been, free willy-nillying the whole deal here, then we're not going to see anything. That manager is going to need time to, sit down, see what the situation currently is, get, in touch with all of the employees and try to, hyper prioritize something huge for the future of the anti-cheat, which, again, no promises because it's Call of Duty. It's a lot of talk, but, it's very rare when they actually go ahead and improve that anti-cheat and make it effective. But it's going to take time. It's not going to be something that they can do in months. It truthfully is not. It's going to be a process. So that is probably the biggest reason why I truly do think that you shouldn't expect it to be improved within Black Ops 6 or any of the recent titles here, and pair that with how Microsoft is trying to avoid and do the dash from any responsibility with these things going on here. I know people are going to say, well, it's World War II. It's an older game, so they probably don't want to give a crap, just like how they don't really want to give a crap with the old titles like COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. But as I stated, the same thing that's happening in World War II is happening in modern, current-gen COD. I know I said it 50,000 times again, but I'm going to say the game's name one more time. Black Ops 6, Warzone. All of the current-day games that you wouldn't think would have these problems that these past games have is literally having these issues. And if Microsoft is willing to say that there's nothing wrong with it in World War II, then, that honestly means they don't think anything's wrong with it in current gen COD. So if they're not going to handle it, if they're not planning on trying to make things safe currently, then all I can say is we have to wait. We have to wait until we see real changes with Ricochet. And the hardest part about it is that we won't know. We won't know when this is going to happen. We won't know when the developers or, whoever is behind Ricochet is actually going to be able to incorporate this, because every single time they say something, it hasn't been true. So the only way we'll be able to find out is with playtime. And, we see a lot of Call of Duty players out there who are complaining about the anti-cheat on a day-to-day basis, playing ranked and all this stuff that I've witnessed, who continuously keep playing it. So I'm sure there will be someone around who will be able to test things out and see how things are going. But I hope that people actually take a break and branch out and try different games, because this is probably the best time to go ahead and do so. Black Ops 6 is... it's not the best thing that we could get as the COD community. And right now, there's actually a decent amount of games out there. Shoot, not even FPS games. Forget FPS. Go play some single-player games. Go play some PvE games. Helldivers 2 is actually coming out on Xbox soon. There's so much variety. Same thing with Gears of War. They're going to be doing Gears of War Reloaded coming out on PlayStation, so PlayStation players can finally witness that game. I will say, Gears 1 is a unique game. I don't think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is amazing. I need a main Gears. But I think it's perfect for people to get into, the introduction of what the Gears of War campaign is all about, because Gears of War has one of the best campaigns ever. And the fact that PlayStation players can finally play Gears 1 is just going to be phenomenal, and it'll really get them prepped up for E-Day. But sorry, I'm getting off topic. There's a lot of games right now. The moral of the story is that there's a lot of games, and if all of these creators branched out and went to play these other games and just took a little bit of a break, as I stated, I understand. I know, their livelihood depends on it. And same with mine, low key. That's why it's so hard for me to debate if I should even bother with, Black Ops 7 or not, because it's horrible for my mental. I feel like I'm going insane talking about it. But at the same time, I know a lot of people like to watch it. They want to see what my opinion is, It's a rough one, but for a lot of the other people out there who are really grinding it, who are only playing it, take a little bit of a break. Play some other games. Enjoy yourself in different departments. And you never know. Maybe that will quicken up the pace. Maybe Activision will see that and be like, you know what? People are actually kind of mad now. Maybe we should go ahead and quicken this up a bit because it is a serious problem. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders. I want to cover each and every last one of these topics. And of course, as you guys know, YouTube doesn't really like when you have variety on the channel. It's not very efficient. The best way to grow is just to stick with one game, grind it out, grow within the community. But as I stated, I really want to branch out, man. I'm having a lot of fun talking about multiple different games, and it seems like a lot of you guys are enjoying it as well, so all the support means the world. And of course, last but not least, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.